and welcome to another gear review with me and Jay. Today we are looking at the Harley Benton HB-35 BK Vintage. So, the HB-35, what is it? Well, it is a Gibson ES-335 Epiphone Dot-esque hollow body guitar. We have a carved maple body with a mahogany central block, completely hollow on these two sort of wings. It's a maple neck with a blackwood fretboard and Roswell humbuckers. As you can see, we've got binding all the way around. Binding which I must say is flawless. Chrome hardware, Tune-o-matic bridge, 4 controls, 3-way pickup selector, and kind of Gibson-y tuning pegs. This kind of guitar has fascinated me for a long time. Sort of guitar that you would have seen Chuck Berry playing, B.B. King, Noel Gallagher, Dave Grohl, all have played this kind of hollow body guitar. So I really was interested in it because of the versatility it would seem these have. So let's have a listen and see if it does. So starting off on a clean Fender style tone, bridge pickup. Both pickups together. And then neck. So let's try some distortion and see how we get on. Both pickups together. I think you'll agree, they clean or distorted sounds pretty good. But one of the things that I sometimes not keen on with humbucker guitars is how they respond to the volume controls. And I was very, very impressed with how this responds. So if I turn the amp drive up a bit, so on the bridge pickup, if we turn the volume down, same for the neck. In the middle. can hear that the volume control actually has a huge amount of control over how much grit's going into the amp, which is fantastic. As I said, some of the humbucker guitars I've played and owned, the volume controls on or off. And then obviously the tone controls on the bridge, neck, middle. Now, when you're reviewing anything, you're meant to try and critique it and tell people what they might need to look out for, what could be right and wrong with it. And as I've been reviewing this, I've been finding it harder and harder to do that. Because at the price point, it is nearly flawless. So if we start from the top, the tuning pegs work brilliantly. They're obviously generic, unbranded pegs, but they feel good, they work, they hold tuning really nicely, and they feel solid, which when I had the TE52, that didn't feel as solid as this. The nut is cut perfectly. The frets are all smooth, no sharp edges. The pickup selection feels solid. The humbuckers sound great. The bridge feels good and holds tune. The controls all feel solid. If you look at it, the binding is perfect all the way around. The body is flawlessly finished. So finding stuff wrong with it is very, very difficult. But rather than find something wrong with it, or rather than look for problems deliberately, there are a couple of things that you would need to know if you are buying one of these and you're expecting a guitar that's perfect out of the box. So the one thing which I don't normally do when I'm reviewing a guitar is set it up, because that kind of defeats the object. But when I got this, I was so in love with it from the moment I started playing it that I didn't want to wait for the review or till after the review to start setting it up. So I did do a few things. I set the intonation, which was almost perfect anyway. I put a bit of relief into the neck because I like it that way, and I polished the frets. I didn't change the strings, but I did polish the frets because, as I said before about Harley Bentons, you don't know how long they've been in the warehouse. You need to give them a bit of a clean. But what I did have to do that was slightly out of the ordinary for a guitar that I've had is I had to rehydrate the fretboard. Now, the Blackwood is a treated pine and was really, really dry and scratchy. So using a lemon oil fretboard cleaner that I have for my other guitars, I spent a couple of minutes just rubbing in some of that into the fretboard. 5 minutes later, it felt much more like kind of ebony or rosewood. So it's hard to say that's a problem with it because it's a really easy fix, but if you weren't expecting it, you might think the fretboard was terrible. 5 minutes of rehydrating it and the fretboard feels absolutely wonderful. So yeah, I mean, look, 140 quid, sounds great, looks great, has all of the tones you could possibly want from any guitar in it, except for maybe single coil. But again, turning the volume down and reducing that output gets you a pretty good resemblance of a single coil anyway on any humbucker guitar. And you could tap it if you really wanted to get involved in that. This is a fantastic, fantastic piece of kit that I would recommend anyone looking for that kind of snappy, old blues kind of tone, or the Britpop kind of tone, or even Dave Grohl's tone. This is going to get you part the way there for very little money indeed. So, have you had one of these? Have you got one of these? Have you loved or loathed it? Love to hear your thoughts on it down in the comments. Obviously, subscribe, hit the bell, buy music from me, buy guitars through my affiliate links if you want one of these. All goes towards me being able to get more stuff to review. I'm going to play you out with just a little bluesy mix, just so you can hear how this sits in kind of with drums and a bass. And until next time, keep on playing and I'll see you soon.